Phil, I've got a question from Phil. Do you have any anecdotes about anaesthesia? Anecdotes. Stories, I guess. Yeah, I do, actually. Okay. One of my trainers back in 80s, was it 80s? Must have been the 1880s, yeah. Was a man called Dr. Tony Wubber, lovely guy, who was Egyptian, working in Eastbourne General Hospital in south of England. And we became very good friends. And so he was one of my trainers, and he would teach pain control on our courses at St Anne's Hospital, where we were running the courses at that particular time. And I used to go around his house with my girlfriend at the time and have dinner in the evenings, you see. And so Tony's idea of a good evening in with friends was to have dinner and then to watch videos of amputations with Tony doing anaesthesia by hypnosis. And if you can imagine watching a video of some guy sitting up in bed having his leg sawn off, and he's sitting there and watching it, you can believe hypnosis is pretty powerful stuff, right? So that's a little anecdote for you, okay? But what I did a little trick on him and his wife. His wife was Angela, I think it was Angela, and she was a nurse, okay? So one evening, he was talking about self-hypnosis. Do you do self-hypnosis? I said, yes, I practice it, I have done. And he said, do you have any much success with it? I said, oh, I can stop my pulse. He goes, what? I said, yeah, I can stop my pulse. He said, that's not possible. It's not possible. Oh, I can stop and start it anytime I want. I said, And he said, no. And said, okay, I'll do it a little bit later. So a little bit later, I made an excuse to go to the toilet, and I nipped into the kitchen. Okay, and I'll tell you why in a moment. And he said, what are you going in there for? I said, just to kind of psych myself up, because I have to really kind of get in the mood and psych myself up for this. And so I said, okay, Tony, you take this wrist, okay, and Angela, you take that wrist, okay. Tell me when you got the pulse. Okay, so yeah, I've got it here. Yeah, good strong pulse here. So, okay. Okay, Tony, tell me to stop it whenever you want. And he says, what? I said, I'm in hypnosis now. You wouldn't think it, but I just so easily go into hypnosis and out. You wouldn't know I'm in hypnosis. Tell me when to make it stop. And he said, okay, stop. And it stopped. Okay. He's going, I think I've lost it. I said, no, you haven't lost it. I've stopped it. He said, no, you can't do that. I said, I've stopped it. You won't get it back. Try. He said, I can't find it. I said, tell me to let it go then, so I can at least get home tonight. He said, okay, go. And okay, a rush of blood. He said, look, I've got it back. I said, okay, Angela, you tell me to stop it. And she did the same, okay. And they're going, this is absolutely amazing. I'm going to have to write something up for the Lancet for this. There's a medical magazine, periodical for doctors, and I have to write this up. This is absolutely amazing. I didn't know you could do this with hypnosis. This is so good. I know you could slow down blood, but you could just do it like that. He said, teach me how you do that. Teach me. I said, okay, Tony. So I sit there. I said, loosen your shirt a little bit so you're relaxed. He said, yes. I said, unbutton your shirt down to about here. Said, oh, okay. I said, okay, first of all, you have to go into the kitchen. He said, why? I said, you have to go into the kitchen. And he said, why? I said, because you need 2 of these. So I put my hand in under my shirt. I pulled out 1 potato, another shirt, and another potato. They killed me. They wanted to kill me after that. I'd really, really tricked them. And so that's a nice anecdote, right? Okay, Raj? Is it Raj? Phil. Yeah, so I've got these potatoes under to stop the... Anyway, so there's a nice little anecdote for you. Another little anecdote about anaesthesia. We had a student on one of the courses I was teaching at St Anne's, and one of the students we're talking about anaesthesia, and I was teaching that particular weekend, and we're talking about dentists. and using anaesthesia for pain control, etc., etc. And one of the students put his hand up and said, I need a tooth extracted. Could you do it? Could you anesthetize me here? I said, well, I'm not a dentist. So another student put their hand up and said, I'm a dentist. This on a Saturday. He said, okay, really? He said, yeah, I'll bring my stuff in. So the next day, the dental practitioner student came in with his stuff to do this extraction. And I hypnotized the client and we did the extraction there on the stage in front of everybody. That was a lot of fun, and he didn't feel anything. So that was a good laugh. So there's another little anecdote for you, Phil. What else have we got? Anything? That's enough, isn't it, on that, I think, really. I have hypnotized myself. I've hypnotized myself going to the dentist, and I used to be quite successful at it. And I used to sit in the waiting room and I would hypnotize my hand and then place it on my jaw. So I'll sit there in the waiting room, anesthetize my hand, and then just before we go in, I'd put it on my jaw and kind of move the numbness into my jaw, which is a technique that's very common. I teach dentists, okay? Then the last time, which was quite a while ago, I was doing it, I had my hands on my lap here. And the doctor, they called your name, and it was early. I thought, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. I'd always have an injection, but the anesthesia was for the injection, okay? And I'm not ready for this. So I got up, and the whole of my right leg had gone to sleep. So there I am, I'm dragging my right leg behind me as I go into the dental surgery. Lastly, another one, this last one, okay, my daughter, Stephanie, she had to have her jabs, for COVID, and she was terrified. And I told her how Milton Erickson used to be in pain, and he'd put his chin on the back of a chair and press down on it, so it really hurt him under here, and how that would distract him away from the pain in his body. And so she decided that she would get her thumbnail and dig it really hard into the end of her finger to distract her away from the pain that's going in her arm. So she was in control of the pain, and that's what she did. And she's been back a few times now, and she does it every time, and she's very happy. No problem with that, with injections at all. So she's got her own little way of coping. Okay, so thanks for that, Phil. I've enjoyed sharing those.